What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Plop here with another Core Keeper video. In this video, we're going to go over the current round of patches, including patch 0.3.3 and a few hot fixes, which include huge nerfs to the dodge chance and a huge change in the repair system, which was a bit of a disaster, but thankfully the devs came in with those hot fixes to save the day. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So our very first patch note is the following. We have materials and chests adjacent to crafting buildings can now be accessed while crafting. A small chest icon beside the required material will indicate if the material is available in any adjacent chests. To show this, we have a chest with scarlet bar in here. I have no scarlet bar on me, and we have our scarlet anvil directly next to, yes, that's what adjacent means, our chest with the scarlet bar. So if we click into the scarlet anvil, if you hover over any of the items, it will show that we have all of the scarlet bar, iron, and fiber needed to create this, but it's not on my person, it's in the chest, noted by that little chest icon. This is a huge quality of life change. You will no longer need to pull everything out of your chest just to craft those potions or walls, as long as you properly organize your base to have chests with the correct materials adjacent to the crafting benches. Next is a bit of a triple threat to the repair system. We have repairing now requires some of the items crafting materials instead of scrap parts, and then the amount of materials required depends on the current durability of the item. Then we have salvaging now gives some crafting materials back instead of scrap parts, and then we have scrap parts have been changed into a valuable that sells for a small amount of coin. Scrap parts will still have a chance to drop from wooden crates and slime aisles. So basically what this means is they overhauled the old system where you could salvage items into scrap parts. Now salvaging items gives a small amount of material back depending on the item you salvage. For instance, we have a iron pickaxe here. If we go to our scrap bench here and we salvage this away, we will get a little bit of iron and some wood. So I got a wood and 2 iron. What you get will depend on the item that you are salvaging. If you obviously salvage something like the scarlet pickaxe, which I'm not going to do right now, you will get some scarlet and some wood from it, and so on. The previous repair system was kind of not really a repair system in my opinion. You could essentially get a lot of scrap by creating a bunch of wood items and then salvaging those wood items, then use those repair parts that you got from salvaging all of your wooded items to pretty much repair any of your scarlet gear or any of your good items for that matter. Right when patch 0.3.3 was released, the amount of materials needed to repair your armor and items was kind of ridiculous. So much so that everyone was going to the Core Keeper Discord to express their frustrations. And thanks to your input, the devs were able to put out a hotfix, which was patch 0.3.5, which decreased the amount of materials needed to repair your items. So now it's a little bit better, but for a 24-hour period, there was a lot of frustration. So huge shout out to the devs for their quick reactions on getting that hotfix out. With this new repair system in place, materials are important now more than ever to make sure all of your items are fully repaired. But with the new salvaging, you will also get a bit more materials from breaking items down that you find in the world. Kind of show this a little bit. I have a totally destroyed scarlet armor, and we're just gonna go to our crafting bench to see how much it costs to repair it. Before it was a lot higher, I'm not exactly sure, but they put up the hotfix, and now it requires just scarlet bar. I believe there was like tin bar in there or something. I could be wrong, but you see our scarlet helm, it costs 4 scarlet bar to repair, and then 6 scarlet bar for the breastplate and 5 for the pants, which is drastically less than the amount it would take to craft an entire set of armor, 13, 18, and 16, which is a good thing. That's how it should be. And obviously, if that was like a quarter of the way durability down, it would require less scarlet bar than what I used to repair those. So although you will have to grind a bit more for extra materials, being able to get some extra mats from salvaging items you find in the world is a huge thumbs up. All in all, I think it's a fine change. Let me know your thoughts down below if you like this change or it's a bit of a nuisance. I think they evened it out by making salvaging give more materials, so the items you find out in the world are a little bit more valuable since you do get extra materials from those, and then combining that with the materials needed to repair. Obviously, scarlet will repair scarlet, iron will repair iron, and so on and so forth. So make sure you are carrying the required materials so you're not stuck in the middle of nowhere with broken armor. Now, scrap parts are still in the game. I don't believe I have any on my person in this game currently, but they do sell to NPCs for 3 ancient coin. You will still find scrap parts in the world, so just go ahead and sell them to your local NPC friend. And now for all my aesthetic friends, you can now place items on the caveling table. So go ahead and decorate your base to your heart's desire. Next, we have the balancing improvements. So they added mining damage stat to the orb lantern. Looks like it's 9% mining damage, which is a nice little change. And then they added melee damage, range damage, and mining damage stats to the caveling hood, the caveling chest, and the caveling pants respectively. So you can see the stats that were added here: 7.2% melee damage, 8.1% range damage to the chest, and then 8% mining damage to the caveling pants. Then they also increased the mining damage of the ancient pickaxe. On top of that, we have some dodge chance changes. Overall dodge chances given by equipment and food have been slightly reduced, and dodge chance is now capped at 90%. This is a bit of a nerf to the overall dodge builds in this game. Cooked food is now worth the amount of ancient coins of its combined ingredients. So for instance, I have a crunchy pepper wrap that I can go sell to our friend here, and it is worth 13. I believe the bomb pepper combined with the carrot is worth 12, so a little bit less. They didn't make it exactly. The blacksmith talent now also reduces repair cost of items and has been changed to reduce the cost by 5% instead of 6% per talent tree. So now it costs 5% less materials instead of 6%. Next, we have ancient coin value of fishes. I'm not sure what it was before this patch, but now we have commons being worth 10 ancient coin. We have uncommons being worth 13, and then we have the rares being worth 16. They also made a change to the hive mother. The hive mother eggs now always spawn at least one big larva to help the other small larvas or acid larvas to dig out of any obstacles. I know when I fought the hive mother the first time, I cheesed her a little bit by placing walls around the eggs, but now they made it a bit more difficult so that you can't cheese it by putting walls around the larva eggs. So a little bit of a buff there to the hive mother. They also reduced the sell value of several crafted items that were overpriced, such as smelted ores, and reduced the sell value of crystal skull shards. Now you can see that they're worth 20 gold a piece here. And then there was one more change where fireflies no longer spawn and group up in large amounts over time. Not something I noticed super bad, but I believe it dropped your frame rate super badly. Next, we have our quality of life changes. Now added a quick stack and sort button to the chest inventory UI. If you couldn't see before, you now have a little button to press instead of having to click your default, which was Q for me. And now you can sort chests, which was a nice little added addition as well. So now you can sort any chest to your heart's desire. They have enemies can no longer spawn on top of the player or very close to the player. I know in the mold biome this was a huge issue, especially since I would be fishing in there, and when I killed and cleared the area, because they spawned so quickly, they ended up just spawning on top of my face while I was fishing, and ended up killing me once or twice, or I had to quickly react in the middle of a fish animation to get out of there. They changed it so the hint given by the core regarding the direction of where Azos can be found has been changed to more clearly refer to the direction of the Azos wilderness, as the direction is intended for the biome and not the boss. They made it easier to swap items in pedestals and similar buildings that can only contain one item without having to manually take out the current item first. They added an option to disable in-game UI. So you can get to that by going to the settings, UI systems, and you can turn this off, and that will turn off your UI system. For all of you big screenshotters, this is a nice little addition to show your base without the UI being directly in the way. Volume is no longer reduced when opening the options menu. Allow joining via Steam friends list while in the game. Previously, players had to go back to the title first to join another game. Great additions as well. The color of ore boulders have now been made easier to see on the map, such as iron ore boulders on stone ground. So this was actually something that I brought up in their Discord, I'm glad to hear that they made this change. Great to see that they are looking out on that Discord. So if you guys aren't in Core Keeper's Discord, make sure you get in there to give your feedback. The shortcut to sort player inventory now only works while inventory is open. Next, we have our wonderful bug fixes. They added a more stable solution to make sure Malgaz the Corrupted does not reset back to full health while fighting him in his throne room. Range attack speed buff from cooking Teal Palace fish now lasts for its intended 5 minutes. They fixed an issue where a game would start behaving weird after client getting disconnected while interacting with an in-game UI. Fixed a bug where cooking pot would create broken food items if cooking more than 999 cooked foods. Fixed a bug where the big larvas in the hive mother fight would sometimes not try to hit blocking walls or objects. This is another buff to the hive mother, so be on the lookout for that hive mother in the early game. Might be a bit more difficult to fight than before. Fixed a pushback not affecting enemies as it should. Fixed so starting the game via Steam join friend option actually joins the game on start. They added a hide game ID when using controller text input in Steam big picture mode. Set the correct icon for larva spiked club when dropped or placed on a pedestal. And then fixed an issue where items would sometimes be duplicated while exiting the game. Last but not least, we have a couple other patches. We have added a new font for the Tide that is easier to read. Save files are located under the Windows user's app data folder as well as in the Steam cloud. Great Wall blocks can no longer be placed out. Fixed so not all plants are animated and mini particles when there are a lot of plants to improve performance. Then after that, they added 2 quick hotfix patches roughly 24 hours after they released the other patch 0.3.3. So hot patch 0.3.4 fixed a rendering issue for golden plant sprites, and then fixed an incorrect materials gained by salvaging the mold ring. Hotfix patch 0.3.5, as we went over before, reduced the cost of repairing items and made it so items will also no longer cost multiple types of materials to repair. So keeping it consistent and only one material type makes repairing a little bit easier. They also changed the required repair materials for the blowpipe and the hunter armor set. I know the blowpipe before required scarlet bar to fix it. I don't know if anybody else thought it was weird that, you know, your blowpipe being repaired before this patch required scarlet ore, but yeah. And then finally, they fixed an issue where save files were duplicated. Anyways, that is it for this video, guys. If you guys have not already, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for more future Core Keeper content to come. If you guys want to check me out on Twitch, I do stream Core Keeper Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure to drop by there as well. Anyway, that's it for this one. See you guys in the next one. Peace.